Good afternoon, Maury. I see that you're enjoying the no doubt the more well. There you are, cooking lager as you once described it.
Something to unwind.
So, how have you managed to unwind after their last two results?
Oh, crikey, man! I'll tell you what. That was my best and worst Old Firm in a long time. It was best, obviously, because we absolutely pumped them, which was brilliant. Don't care what anyone says. We were absolutely far superior. There was no shots on goal. Come on. We were just absolutely brilliant. But we had the busiest day since reopening here. So I'm in the kitchen. I'm not a smoker. I stopped smoking 4 years ago. And you could always get away for a quick, smoke if you wanted to. Not a chance. I couldn't get a gulp of water in there, man. The sweat was pouring off me. Working in the kitchen, and I had my phone up in the corner while I'm watching the game as best I can. And it was absolute mayhem, man. So once the day was over, then I sat down here, exactly where I'm sitting now, and I watched the whole game again. And we had one rather drunk chap here who I thought had left with other people. And as I've started watching the game, he came stumbling through the gate there. So we had this guy to deal with and that, but I don't care. Absolutely fantastic result. Over the moon with it,
Well, it's funny you should say that you watched it twice, because to be honest, over the years I've found, because I tend to watch the game and kick every ball, and I say this to people, I'm a ball watcher, and especially in Celtic games, I tend to go into a bit of a panic, whenever they get possession.
Sure.
And so I can't really follow the game. But during the game, I thought, this is actually quite good. We're kind of pressuring them, whatever. When I watched it, on video and playback, then that was really when you saw that the tactics and how it played out, and that we'd called it well, and what a good game from our point of view it was. I mean, there are people who will say, they hit the woodwork a couple of times. If only this had happened, if only that had happened, how many shots did we have? But it really was, there was no huge amount of pressure from them at any time. Rangers seem to conduct themselves really well. I mean, I'm not a great one for being over intellectualizing football, and a lot of guys I think get carried away with the stats. But if you look at some of the graphics that have been done over the last season or so, you see that Rangers are very disciplined in how the team pivots from side of the pitch to side of the pitch, moving forward together, defending. They keep the lines, they keep their positions, and that was almost a masterclass. I mean, I think from the start, Celtic's new Uruguayan lad, he was fairly obviously targeted. I think they'd done a lot of work on him and maybe thought that he was weak, or not to be unfair to him, because he's an AC Milan player on loan sort of thing. And that's maybe a wee bit unfair to say he's weak, but I think obviously they're thinking, well, has he played in this game before? Does he know his teammates? Is he, maybe not up fully to speed? So it was good to see as I say, on the second watch, I was very impressed with the team. Was there who was your man of the match? There's been a wee bit of with a few people to look at. You had obviously Big Goldson's performance, scoring the 2 goals. Glenn Kamara, as a lot of people were raving about him. Who was your own favourite?
I think it would be unfair not to say Goldson. I know it only dead fish swim, downstream, or with definitely Goldson. But it is kind of weird, because you've got, if you have a goalkeeper and there's no goal scored, you generally say, wow, but he didn't have anything to do. So I don't know. It's Golden. He's not a striker. But he's a big man. He's come under some criticism, I think, in my opinion, unfairly. I think he's a stand-up player. If he was any better reliability-wise, I don't think he'd be playing for us. You know what I mean? If he didn't make the odd mistake, I don't think he would be with us. You know what I mean?
I think I think whether people want to admit it or not, the fact that his health problems, with the heart surgery and whatever, that's always in the back of your mind. Obviously, people wouldn't be allowing him to play if they did think it was a danger to him. But I mean, I think that certainly sticks in the back of my mind. This year, as I've mentioned in Davy Edgar's podcast, where we are placed at Ibrox in the press box this year, it's low down in the west enclosure, so you're getting a good view of him, Barisic, Tavernier, Balogun in defence. And I must say, the big ones hardly put a foot wrong all year. As you say, he has been a bit of occasionally a bomb scare. But this season, from my point of view, he's barely put a foot wrong. If we can revisit your prediction, you were down for 3-1. So were you cheering on Kent late on?
Listen, I don't care. 1-0. And who scored? Who cares? We win. Sure. I had a look. This I was sure of. We were not going to lose. I don't know. And I think I said it before the game. I'm not just saying it afterwards. I was confident we're going to win. I was confident we're going to win. I'm on the record saying this because there's just something about Rangers just now, and wow.
I was talking today to the journalist David Leggett, and I said to him, David's been very, shall we say, sceptical about things, and I said, well, my view, Dave, is it's not perfect, but we're now into effectively year 3, and there have been incremental changes. We have been getting better slowly but surely. I don't think there's been any one signing that's been hugely stunning, but in terms of where we are now, I think we have done well. Just to grind into you about your predictions, I actually had a wee look and I saw that the big one was at 11-1 to score a goal at any time. So I had a tenner on Goldson, so that made me a happy chappy.
I'm not gonna jammy. I think you. The intuition was here. It's very cool. I won nothing for that, nothing. But hey, we won. That's the main thing.
So once you moved out of Saturday and get away for the weekend and stopped flipping your crocodile burgers, moving forward to Thursday, again, Standard Liege, perhaps not the best known of foreign teams, but a name that you would recognise. So in terms of the performance there, I mean, terrible evening. In terms of the weather, I was actually worried at one point if it went on for another 5 minutes that it might get called off. I think rather than tactically getting into what went on there that night, because I think some of the tactics went out the window a wee bit because of the weather. But in terms of the goal, what would compare that goal with?
Which goal? So the roof on.
Where do you think, once you've settled down, that one will rate in your favourite goal list?
I've thought about that, and I don't know. It was kind of it was very surreal. I'm sure it was surreal for everybody because you're not expecting that to turn into a goal in perfect conditions. Never mind in a downpour. I think something that made me laugh was I was listening to old Tom commentator, obviously on RTV, and I think I tweeted something about sort of an hour into the game afterwards, because he said that better not be overly ambitious here. It's like 93 minutes and Rufy says, hold my beer.
Well, you know
Yeah,
that's the type of thing that makes us fall in love with football and keeps us in love with football is all the politics round about it, all the squabbling, and then something like that happens, and I'm sure we'll be talking about it, and for however long most of us that are watching this will last, but that's the type of thing that turns people's careers. I mean, I absolutely loved that one. It's just that I was sitting just watching it in the house, and I think my neighbours must have thought there was a fire had started somewhere. So, in terms of how was your reception for that over in Botswana?
That was brilliant. It was 100%. The trouble was that we don't have DSTV or anything like this. The satellite channels here. We're in the bush, so I get RTV. So for me, it was audio and then clips. Everyone's clips. I'm saying put up a clip, this kind of thing. So when I heard it in audio, it was a tad confusing because I thought I have no idea what's going on now. Normally, when the goal was scored, it was like what, and then when you see the clip, it's especially that you had the one with the Spanish.
Yes, I well, that's so.
No, that's not a goal. I was in tears, not laughing, but just absolutely enjoying. I sent that clip to everyone I know anywhere. I woke my wife up. I said, and she's not a football person. I said, you have to listen to this, and she said, listen, beep off, and but you must see this thing. It was just, I don't know. It was just
the thing I love about it is each time you watch it, the amount of work he does to get himself into that position, seeing off the other players, and then to look up and see that it was on. And of course, the cherry on top is the Standard Liege player, goalkeeper, pretending to have cramp afterwards. Is the way, I would have made it, except had a wee twinge of cramp. Yeah. Genius. So listen, I know you're a busy man, and we're moving into that time of the weekend where hopefully you get a wee turn this evening and into tomorrow. So I won't keep you too long, but thank you for your company and your thoughts beforehand. What we'll do is next time we're back on, we'll have a wee think more about the wildlife. As I say, your Twitter feed's become a cult classic. You've certainly got an eye for the pictures. I think everybody I've talked to is loving it. So have a wee think about that and see maybe if you can get us a couple of specials for next time we're on.
We're heading out into the bush. The weekends we're here. We're heading out on Tuesday morning. We'll be back on Thursday. So I'll have my camera and gear, and we'll see what we can find. And I did put a thing on Twitter saying if you want to see an animal, give me a shout. And there's cool stuff like, well, snakes are difficult. You find one is great. Difficult. There's things like I would like a picture of a crocodile underwater. Really?
Well, come over. You can probably arrange that for them.
I can find one for you if you want to go snorkeling. It's like no, but it's great. It's great fun. So we'll try and get as much wildlife as we can, and if people enjoy it, that's fantastic. I'm over the moon. And yeah,
but
listen,
I take it there are no bears over there.
There's one sitting right here, man.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Right, well, listen,
no.
Thanks for your company, and we'll be in touch next week. And let's see what your wee safari this week. If you come up with anything, give us a shout. And we'll put a link onto the website.
Appreciate that. Hey, we are the people. Cheers, man.
See you next week, pal. Bye bye.